Hey y'all, I'm back. I am not talking about homeschool mom stuff this time. Okay, so I just want to share something that we are doing in our community in the Goddess Isis Coven. We have been working on ourselves as well as learning for a couple years now, just working on ourselves, raising our vibration, raising our frequency, preparing for an ascension, elevating ourselves, and deprogramming, reprogramming. And that's something that we're working on again, the deprogramming and reprogramming. Now, we're doing this because sometimes people feel like you worked on something, like when you think about shadow work, you feel like you've worked on something and you're finished. I've had people say that I've already worked on that. And I'm like, okay, but you can have a trigger that triggers that situation. And now you got to do a little work on that again, so we're gradually working on these things to heal ourselves so that we can elevate, so that we can become our best selves. We can become the best us that we can possibly be. Not comparing ourselves to anybody else, just being our best selves, right? So last week we started working on just releasing words, statements, and kind of like doing a dump of what it is that we are releasing from our lives, what it is that, how you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. So we are releasing that. So we did some release work on that last week and affirmed what it is that where we are, because it's really not a good idea to continue to focus on those things that you don't desire to manifest, those things that you struggle with, those things that you don't like. It's not a great thing to focus on those all the time. That's the one situation or issue I have with some shadow work. It depending on how you do your shadow work, you can tend to focus on those things too much, and you will actually manifest more of those things. So if you are not happy or excited about your position in life, your financial position, your job, your business, your mate, whatever, when we do the free readings, we usually get a whole lot of mate questions. So, people might not be as excited about their mate or whatever. If you continue to focus on those things, you're going to get more of that. Even if you don't get it with the same person, you'll get it with somebody else. It'll be a different face, but it'll be the same scenario. And you will continue to get these scenarios until you have done your own mastery. You've learned your lessons. You've gotten to having emotional mastery on those situations or what have you. So, this week we are doing some deprogramming and reprogramming. And I know a lot of you have heard of subliminal messaging and things of that nature. I know back in the day when I first started using subliminal messages, I was using them for myself. I was also using them with my daughter. And back then when I was using them, you actually had to have permission from the person that was receiving the subliminal messages. You had to have permission from them to use them. So my daughter and I actually had conversations about using these messages, what they would do for her, and she had to agree that she wanted these messages. So I'm not sure if that's still the case, but it may be. So you may want to be mindful of that if you decide to go use some on your children or your mate or something like that. Don't just willy-nilly do it. Look up the rules and regulations surrounding using subliminal messages, because it's kind of like you are really reprogramming somebody's subconscious. So you really have to let them know that that's what you're doing. But that is what we will be doing. We are using subliminal messages, subliminal messaging, but we're also doing some healing work. So I'm tapping into my inner Isis and doing some deprogramming exercises with everybody and some reprogramming exercises. So that is reprogramming the subconscious mind after we deprogram those things that are not serving our highest good. So if you all want to participate, I think I might do this part live. So if you do want to participate, what you will need to do to prepare is to write down maybe 2 or 3 things. It could be 1, 2 or 3 things that you would like to release that are subliminal programs. So it may take you a minute to figure out what those are. What are my programs? But you could start by thinking about those things that you struggle with, those things that you're not too happy about, those things that you feel are not serving your highest good. If you feel like you're stuck in a place, stuck in a rut, stuck at a job, stuck with the same relationship, stuck attracting the same relationship, same person, different face, if you are stuck in a relationship with even a loved one, a parent or something, and you're having difficulty overcoming this that you have with your parent. If you feel like you have a lineage curse where you pass on, or the same situations have been passed on from generation to generation to generation, and you want to stop that, these are things that you may have programs in your subconscious mind about. If you are finding that no matter how hard you try, you still stay in the same place, or you still have this same thing, those are some things that I want you to write down, to think about, that we will deprogram and then reprogram. So what else? I thought of something while I was in the middle of talking. Anyway, it'll come back if it's supposed to. So anyway, so definitely think of those types of things that you may want to release. Like, for example, most middle-class people, their parents were middle class, their parents were middle class, everybody was middle class, right? And it just goes on. And no matter how you try to break that barrier, break that ceiling, you're still in the same place. Poor people who are lower in economic status or whatever, they will be following the line. People that are on public assistance, their parents were on public assistance, their parents, it's like following the line. And people that are rich, no matter whether you're an idiot or you're brilliant, you're still rich. I mean, I hear some of these wealthy people, and the things that come out of their mouth are so idiotic. It's like, wow, how did that happen? But haphazardly, they'll remain rich. I'm not sure if they always have a handout or whatever the case may be, but they manifested that handout. You know what I mean? And even if they lose it, they could get it back. They will lose it. They'll find a connection to get it back. So anyway, we are going to figure out. Well, we're not going to figure out. You will figure out what it is that you would like to release. And I will be helping the community to get that together. And then we will do some reprogramming, and that will be on me. So you will be focusing, and I'll be doing the work to assist you in deprogramming and reprogramming. So pick 1 to 3 things. I'm not sure how many we'll be able to do in the live. But yeah, we're going to do that one day this week. I will announce it, so stay tuned, and I will see y'all then.